I was remembering an experience that I just went through. I had the honor and the privilege to take 4 trainees and Thaddeus Skiles up to Mount Baldy. The trainees were Ricardo Paco, Fernando, Miguel Avila, and Miguel Lugo. We went on this kind of retreat training. It was a very unique setting. So we were up at a Zen Buddhist retreat center, and it was 6 homies and 10 African American Muslim brothers up on the mountain. And I didn't know Fernando too well. I didn't know Miguel Avila too well, and I didn't know Ricardo too well. And so, you know, when I do these kind of things, I always like to use that opportunity to get to know the trainees and let them get to know me a little better. And so I was thinking about it, and so I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about intimacy. We always relate intimacy to something that happens between romantic partners, right? But for me, it's something much more deeper than that. It's the closeness that you can have with another human being, where you're able to be vulnerable and you allow yourself to let that person inside. You let that person inside, and sometimes what happens is it's reciprocal. Because you let them inside, they let you inside. And that's what's happened to me up there. I was able to spend some time with Fernando, and it was a great experience. I got to know him a little bit. We got to talk about some really deep things, and I think that's because I allowed myself to be vulnerable to him. I talked to him about some things that I've gone through, and then we talked about some similar experiences, and where we really connected was on my spirituality. So I follow the native ways. I do my best to walk the red road every day. And so, as you can see, I'm holding a feather, and it's a feather from a spotted tail hawk. And I love feathers. Feathers are very sacred to indigenous people here on this continent and on other continents, but in particular on this continent. Feathers are very sacred. We don't pluck feathers off of living animals. We really wait for a bird to drop a feather, or for somebody to give you a feather. And so I have a lot of feathers, and my favorite bird, the bird that I connect with the most, is the hawk. But up until today, I didn't have a hawk feather. You know, I have other sacred feathers that I use in ceremony, but I've always been yearning for a hawk feather, right? And the funny thing is that Fernando was kind of a last-minute add to this group, and so I was kind of hesitant because I didn't know him. But this morning, when I walked into when I was walking into Homeboys, Fernando said, "There's a feather on your desk for you." And I walked up and I saw the feather, and it's the feather that I've been wanting for such a long time, you know. And so I know that this is a gift from the Creator, because I allowed myself to be vulnerable. I allowed some intimacy to happen between Fernando and I, you know. And he allowed that on his side as well. I learned a lot about him. He's a great human being, and I'm grateful that he's here. So my thought of the day today is around that, like, when's the last time that we allowed somebody in? When's the last time that we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable in a real way? You know, that's particularly hard for us men that live the lifestyle, that we're incarcerated. We were expected not to show our feelings. We were expected not to cry. We were expected to be hard as stone. And that's just not healthy, and it's just not real. And we limit ourselves so much when we do that. The greatest moments for me have come when I've sat down with another senior staff member or a trainee or just another human being and allowed myself to be vulnerable. It's happened with my bosses. It's happened with people that have reported to me here. When I've allowed that intimacy, great things have happened. Sometimes that's all that needs to happen. Is just open the door a little bit, and you will step into a magical world called intimacy. So I encourage you guys to do that throughout the day. Allow yourselves to be vulnerable to one another, and just see what happens. Dip your toe in the water, and you're gonna find out that it's just fine, and then you're gonna be able to just dive in. Thank you.